Yeah. What's up, everybody? Well, it's 7 o'clock. Good morning. Actually, no, it's not. Some of you are like, what the? Oh man. It's been kind of tough today. Been kind of tough. Hold on. See who else just went live. Okay. Nobody important. Anyways, good afternoon. Yeah, it's good afternoon all the way around. Even you Arizonians, maybe you Californians, it's not afternoon yet, but Solo Viking Coach, good morning to you. So I thought I'd go over some lowboard stuff. I discovered this channel called Success with Trucking. She's this gal that has the sonar and the big huge DAT tools, and she had some interesting reports, and I was kind of seeing the same thing. It's pretty interesting when you look at when I have these results when I'm dispatching, and then I have these tools tell me that I'm doing the right thing versus the other way around. If I get to the point where either use the tools to do the right thing or I'm doing the right thing and the tools reflect that. That's kind of where I'm at. So we'll do some shout outs. I'll get some more people in here, and I want to point out a few things. Number one, a lot of double brokering. You got to watch out for that. I came across 5 or 6 brokers that were not factorable with our factoring company. They were denied. They were red, and um, and then I'm also seeing a lot of brokerages, like big ones, like I'll use somebody like Transplace or Global Trans, and in the posting on the low board, it'll say Gmail account for it'll say I saw one that was something something logistics at Gmail, and a lot of the red denied stamps that I'm seeing is because of double brokering, and I'm seeing a lot of brokerages that I don't recognize. And so when I go to check their number doesn't even come up in Thunder Funding's database, or they're red, or both, or I'm starting to see like 50, 60-day pay turnaround time. So really got to watch out. And so when you're dealing with smaller amounts of choices, it kind of slims down the line even more. So and it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge. That's what we signed up for. So got our still got coffee going on. I told my wife earlier I've had too much coffee, but then I just like, oh, I had too much coffee, and I poured myself another cup. So, anyways, let's go over some chats, and then we'll. By the way, let me put this out here. No, I'll do that here in a second. Put that out there, and then also, I need to make a new banner. So let's hide that one for a minute, so I don't look like I'm begging for money, because I'm not. All right, Sterling, what's up? Hey, how's it going, Mr. Charles? Ahmed Pujambi, good jihad music. Look, my music's good for anything. It's good for serenity. It's good for carrying out difficult activities. It's good for anything. So just saying. I don't have an ego except when it comes to my music. My music is awesome. It's the best music in the world. So, Desert Okie Pam, how's it going? Hey, holler at me later. I have a couple of things that have come up for you. My name is Nobody. Greetings and salutations. Sterling, woohoo, Snorelord. As he likes to read my stuff, woohoo, Snorelord, boom, 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 whatever that is, whatever that is, whatever that is, truck, rocket truck, whatever. Is that a potato? Rocket truck potato? Don, what's up? I saw your text, Don, and fine, fine. I know you don't need me. That's fine. Just whatever. LVC, what's up? Shannon, good afternoon, everyone. In Phoenix, getting loaded at second pickup. I wish I could find a load out of Phoenix. I have a truck in Phoenix because that's where they live, and I've been trying to get them out for a long time. Finally, we're checking some connections that we've made, and we're going to see if that amounts to anything. But that's a whole story of a whole different situation. Let's see. I knocked it out of the park this morning. Good deal. Good deal. Good afternoon, folks. Dennis, what's up? Matt, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing all right. Judging by your avatar, I think maybe you're doing okay. Good to see you. I saw you in somebody's feed last night. Was it Cash or um, DIY? One of the two. I saw you in there. So let me know if you need anything. I still consider you a friend and hope that you can return someday. 11:02. What's that even mean, LBC? Oh, the time. Okay. CDN, good afternoon. CDN, you and I are getting some positive feedback from the snippets I put up with you and I. So that's cool. Certainly says success with trucking is cool. Yeah, I mean, I've just discovered her recently and been watching the last couple of her videos, and so she's look. If someone else wants to pay that sonar bill and use those tools, someone else wants to do that. That's fine. It's LVC. It's it's interesting because she's a dispatcher. She's not a. I don't think she's a carrier owner. She's also a dispatch service, and um, she's in the trenches there. So it's interesting to see her input, and she's discovering the same. It's funny because I just literally watched her an hour ago, and she's discovering the same things that I've been encountering this morning. So, good afternoon, Jonathan. I see everyone's frustration with the spot market selling his truck is just as soul crushing. Um, Look, here's the deal. It's the season, right? It's and yeah, I mean it's more than normal. But here's the thing. I've been in this game for a while, and this is just it's frustrating in the moment. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's always like this. It's part of the ebb and flow. So you just have to be more on it this time of year. This is my truck's in the shop, right? Because I'd rather put the truck in the shop now and get things worked out to where if things boom or if things, falter, I can get out in the truck and run and make some money. Plus Jeff needs me to run a couple errands. So having my truck on the ready is going to be important. And despite volumes and stuff, I'm still seeing an increase in short haul rates now. Now, what I have noticed is fuel is going up as well. So that's interesting. So look, the next month is going to be tight. So this is the time you want to put the truck in the shop if there's some work that you've been putting off. Now's the time to maybe take a week off and get your taxes done. Now's the time to, you know, do some, basically maintenance or, maybe there's something around the house that you've been neglecting. Now's the time to do it. And it's always been like that, late January, early February. January tends to be the first 2 or 3 weeks, okay, and then the last 2 weeks not so okay. And so we're going to have hopefully just 4 more frustrating Mondays, and then we'll be good. So, and the rates, it's weird. So looking at a low board, if you look at the 15-day value, right? I'm looking at 20% less, 20% less, 20% less, 20% less. Oh, 10% more or 5% more or right on the 15-day. And what happens is these are the loads that someone fell off. This is the last minute stuff. And that's great if you're in an area where there's no deadhead or very little deadhead. And so what I'm noticing is like if you're booking the day of, which I don't recommend doing right now, you have to really be you have to really be paying attention to that. But I had a driver in Phoenix wanted to start using me again. Is one of my drivers that's used me before. It's a light truck and that's out in Phoenix, and we were ready to roll on Monday. So I was going to book that load Friday morning, but and there were some opportunities there. But then all of a sudden, he had an issue with the truck, had to get addressed, and he didn't know if it was going to be finished by today or not. So now we're back to last minute. And what also doesn't help is this. Let me point this out. This doesn't help either. They're talking about high winds and basically full on snowstorm through here. And then this will all turn purple and pink tomorrow, I imagine, once they kind of figure out what the storm's going to do. So, so if you're coming out of Phoenix, it might almost be better to go this way. But then, there's pockets. Sometimes Dallas is, I mean, what was interesting is the rejection tender rates were good in Dallas and Chicago. Dallas area and Chicago for reefer. And guess what? I've literally been bouncing back and forth between the two with one reefer truck and doing pretty good. With no struggle. Now, I'm not sure about van. I think it's the same way, but when you have more loads in an area, you have a better chance of finding that one that someone fell off. So it just depends, right? So, but this is the thing. I mean, this is going to get worse as it goes along. And this area right here, all of this area, Oklahoma, and all of this area right here, notice this literally follows 44 to 57, all the way up almost to 70. And so these areas are used to this kind of snow. But this area from 44 can be a bear between St. Louis and Rolla, Missouri, because of the hills and stuff. So if we get the snow that they're forecasting, that could be a problem. So you want to take the southern route. So if you come out of Dallas, you're taking 40 to 30 to or 20. Yeah. So I mean you're going through Dallas up to Little Rock off of 30, and then getting on 57 from there. So I mean you could stay south of this, and so use it as a negotiation leverage. I mean there's if you're going to go through that, and that's helping too. But the majority of the best rates are going up to the Northwest, and that's it's where everybody doesn't want to go. And so the rates coming out of there are pretty horrible because they're overflowing that market of inbound. So that's gross, LVC. Steve, a book and two cables should arrive to you. Wow. Friday and Saturday, the two cables are so you can connect your mic to your cell phone. Oh, okay. Ideal when doing morning live from porch or OG videos from the driveway. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll be curious to see what that book is. I finished. I'm still on the negotiating book, and I'm still on the Wim Hof book. And those have been very cool. Big Rig CEO, yeah, bitches. T-Bone, what's up? She's better to look at than DIY. I agree. In DIY comments, heard him offer a job. I have zero reefer experience. Call me. Call me. Okay. Call me. I can make that happen. Dying breed. And it's not the same one that I've offered you in the past, Matt. So please call me. Now's the time to run more. Go out and get that new tattoo. I'm due for some new ink soon, but same day lottery. Yeah, same. Yeah, it's like winning the lottery, right? How do you feel being used? What the hell are you talking about? I know yesterday it rained all day in South Georgia. I-17 and state highways closed this morning due to heavy snow north of Phoenix. Yeah, that was the other element too. So we were kind of limited. So when you take 36 options, take that out of California and take out anything that requires going up through Flagstaff, it was a wrap. There was literally nothing. And then the brokers know that because they're only offering $1.20, $1.30 to go south of all that. It's like, ugh, I'm not going to go to Houston for $1.20 a mile. I don't care how low your costs are. I love I-17. I agree with that. I'm going to be in your town tomorrow, delivering pickup. Going to have all day between delivery and pickup. Well, might have to hang out. I have something going on between 1 and 3 here, but it's nothing that can't be handled with my wife being home. So, and you better get the hell out of Dodge because the snow is supposed to hit tomorrow night. So, Stuart, what's happening, boys and girls? Christian number 1, yo. So it takes a lot of patience this time of year as well. And now's the time to really kind of, here's the thing. So I'm going to go back to Big Rig CEO's comment here. Now it's time to run more. It's always a good time to run more. The same way you deal with a good market is the same way you deal with a bad market. And so all the times that you got 50% margin over your project, over 50% profit margin, now's the time where you're only going to get maybe 5-10% or even breaking even, right? So it should balance it all out. That's kind of how I've looked at it. Now, it's tough to do the same run that you've been doing for $2,000 and suddenly you're doing it for 1,300. That's tough. That's tough to stomach, especially when fuel goes up. But that's just part of this game. That's what you've signed up for. If you're running I mean, even if you're only running part time in the spot market, there's still elements that you have to consider. But the part that I don't like is everything's going up to the Pacific Northwest, so it's going to be tougher to come out. Then the other part is there's a lot of double brokering going on right now, and a lot of brokers that are undercutting each other to try to keep these customers. Last 3 months, I've been getting a lot of emails from all kinds of brokers. We need trucks. We need trucks. We need trucks. Today, 0. No, I take that back. I had 2. One from my guy in Georgia and one from my gal in Ohio. That's it. My email's been very quiet. And then I've emailed literally 6 brokers today for loads, and only one of them answered. And that load was gone by the time I got to him. So it's slim pickings. So Shannon, the fact that you got out of Arizona, that's great. Meanwhile, I have a reefer in Wisconsin. Boom, gone within minutes. In fact, I wasn't even looking for a load. They called me. Boom, it was booked. Pretty good rate too. But yeah, Don, hit me up. Urban Network Trucking Podcast got burned by Amazon. Lazy employees unloading, but I got recovered empty bottle load to Florida. Here's the thing with Amazon. I have lots of experience with them as far as not the brokerage, but the warehouses, right? And I tend to only do Amazon loads in the afternoon if I do an afternoon delivery. That way I can just book something for the next morning. Because in my experience, most Amazons have taken a while. Now, the different the times that I have had good experience at Amazon, I wasn't delivering for Amazon. It was stuff while they're building the warehouses, like the conveyor belts and stuff like that. But for the most part, if I do an Amazon load delivery, like the one in Hebron, Ohio, I'm sorry, Hebron, Kentucky, I will. I'll just treat it like a target. So it's got to be a really good rate for me to take that, and then I won't book anything after it unless it's the next day. So you have to really be careful with that. And then we've also had a truck sit for 26 hours trying to get checked in at the Amazon there in Dallas. So anything off of I-20, Dallas, Amazon, that's a no-go zone for me. Unless you're doing the drop and hook Amazon trailer stuff. Thank you guys for informative videos. You're welcome, Christian number one. Shoot, I booked all my loads last Friday for the week. Sorry. To be sure, I'm covered for the week and running extended. Sometimes you got to run out of your comfort zone. And that's good. That's what you got to do. And that's probably what Big Rig CO was referring to partially is, you booked it all ahead. And I believe you did it through one or two brokers that you already have a relationship with, and you're outside of your comfort zone. That's exactly what needs to happen right now. So, afternoon from Pilot in Temple, Georgia. How dry is it over here when I'm running Kansas to Dallas? I'm East Coast guy. Um, on the orange board, you got freight that comes out of Topeka, but I wouldn't go west of there. Um, Dallas is usually pretty good, but a lot of that bounces to southeast and back. But every now and then you'll find I would look for Hutchins, not Hutchins. Hutchins, Texas paper. Those loads go everywhere and they're light. They usually go all different kinds of places. There's water loads that go from Hawkins or Dallas that go towards Arkansas, Oklahoma. Then out of Oklahoma, I would grab something out of Arkansas and go up to Illinois, Ohio from there. So I mean, it's kind of that's what I'd be looking at. Pneumatic Brit, you shutting down there? I'll be passing there in a few hours. Hot off the press, market update just emailed to you. You're welcome to review it if you like. Okie dokie. Let me see if I can find that. Oops. I got to get rid of some of these windows here. I've got like 83 windows open. All right, so let me unshare the screen here. All right, let's shrink that down. All right. Make sure there's no private data. So we'll start right there. All right. This is courtesy of CDN. Let me finish these comments here. 26 hours on load is just absolutely ridiculous. It took that long just to get checked in, Dennis. That's how backed up they were. That was about a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago. 4 minutes left on my clock, so staying until 4 a.m. and going back to Atlanta, drop trailer, and go home for 24 hours and have things to sort. Use second one without my company logo. Yeah. Oh, the second email? Did she send another one? Hold on. There we go. That way I don't accidentally do something. There we go. I got you. I got you covered. We good. We good. Yeah, exactly. I went to New Jersey and Arizona. Those were both on my list, but I'm rocking it right now out of my comfort zone. Yeah, New Jersey's out of everybody's comfort zone, especially mine. You're on fire with your focus and goals. I delivered 3 a.m. Had a pickup at 9:45. Trade show 3,000. They pulled me off because I didn't get unloaded until 10 a.m. Found this 2,200 pound reloaded bottle. So, well, at least you recovered. Hope. I mean, but yeah, that with a 3 a.m. delivery at Amazon, I wouldn't have booked at 9:45, and that's just my experience with Amazon. So this is how we learn, and so that sucks that you lost a good trade show load because those can pay very well, and they're usually unique and interesting, and it's not just like two turns off the interstate. There's some talent and skill with that. So that sucks that you lost that. No matter what, you'll probably be sleeping by the time I come through. So yeah, just be aware. Treat Amazon like Target. That's been my experience. Now there might be someone out there. Oh, it's not what I've done. Okay, good on you. But in my experience, it's always been, yeah, or at least if you're going to book the same day of an Amazon delivery, make sure it's an open window. So on the next pickup. So see if we can zoom in on this. All right. So we'll be sure not to not share the screen as I talk about it. Market update. All right. So, all right. Easier to find a truck. So green is bad on this, and orange means that we can name our price. So the tighter the market, the better it is for us, the truck driver. The looser the market, the better it is for the broker. All right, so there's the overall. So this is like a gauge. You guys can see that pretty clearly. The best one is flatbed, and it's still loose, but better than soft. So National Truckload Index dropped to 257 a mile. I'm not even going to get into all this. Capacity dropped down to 3.81%. So capacity is getting lower. I mean, not capacity, but the volume's getting lower. Van outbound tender is at 4.3. Flatbed is at 14.9. Reefer is at 6.25. So I won't get into all this, but here's your graphs. Rates are declining from the holiday spike. That's what that is right there. Now it's coming down. That's exactly what I've experienced. Same thing. Now this is one that's interesting. Transit times from China to US are getting close to pre levels, right? This peak was in December of 21. We're now sitting way down here. Why is this important? Well, for your van and flatbed, this is important because that's where a lot of our freight comes from. Below is the Logistics Manager's Index comparing inventory levels to outbound load volumes. The takeaway here is that inventory is still growing while tender volumes are declining. So what does that mean? It means no one's buying anything. The Baltic Index, I'm not sure about that. But here's your hot market map for DAT. On this particular map, red is good, yellow is okay. The deeper the red, the better. And blue is not great. That's reefer. So I'm seeing this personally. I will agree with these. This is what I'm seeing. Exactly. Except Florida. Florida always looks good on paper, but then when you try to book a load out of there, it's just stupid. Flatbed. Notice all the blue on flatbed, but it is that time of year. This is genuinely normal. And so when everybody's like forced out of these blue zones into these zones, that lowers the rate. And so I would be figuring out something from like Oregon, Northern California, which has been a bear here lately because of weather, head to the southeast and seeing if you can create a lane back and forth here. Also, this Colorado. So notice these are all these hot spots are around where a lot of people don't want to go this time of year. And then dry van, look at that. Other than a little bit out of LA, the LA basin, and Dallas to Houston, you have small pockets in the Midwest. It's crazy right now. But it's still doable. You just got to run outside of your comfort zone and make this happen. So, anyways, I have a 53 vented van logistics post air ride, and I use it in every equipment lane I can. That is I wanted to do that with my trailer, but I don't see that stuff in the spot market too often. So are you working on the spot market, or are you signed on with like Landstar or something like that gets that freight all the time? Or are you working with a broker that has that kind of stuff? Always learning. Hello, SST. What's up? I see you. I'm at the pilot as you come in. I'm on the left with Schneider. Going to be a tough till around April. March 1st will tell that story, but I think things will start to pick up around March. It just depends. Should I lease from a zero down payment walkaway lease from Swift? New driver. No. How long you been driving? Depends on how. I mean, how fresh is your CDL, Christian? Number one. That's an important answer. Shoot, we're spending all of our money on eggs. Forget about dollar a dozen for eggs. Now you're lucky if you can find them for less than $5. Ironically, I can find them at the mom and pop grocery stores for less than what you can find them at Aldi's. But I have connections on eggs, so I'm good. It's called a recession. High prices, lower demand. Let's see. It says just right in the Ozarks. Everybody's saying hi to everybody else. Government says we're not in a recession. Are you saying the government's wrong? Yes. Look, here's the thing. The reason why they don't want to use that word is because that's a bad word that makes people even react more. So they're trying to minimize the damage. It's one of those things like, wow, if we tell the world that there's a meteor heading towards Earth, there would be utter chaos. They'd rather just let you figure it out on your own. While the rich, are able to, the people that were able to know ahead of time and build bunkers and stuff get to do so. Food and fuel, the only thing I'm buying for the foreseeable future. That is true. Florida produce is in full swing, but to land one of those loads, you got to have that network in place. You might catch a couple of hit the low boards. Chris, that's a very excellent point. So if you're a Florida carrier and you're getting emails from all these different brokers saying, hey, you got any trucks? Got any trucks? And then you've been telling them no, leave. I don't like you. I've been doing that or ignoring the emails. Now's the time when those emails stop and you're kind of SOL. I work for a spot. I work off a spot, but I work with a few brokers who do those type of things. Excellent. That's the way to do it. You've only been driving for 3 months. Do not get in any kind of lease at all. I don't care if it's a full maintenance. I don't care if it's a walkaway. I don't care if you're going to own the truck in 4 years. I don't care. Would you make the guy that's learning how to wash the dishes at the restaurant, make him the restaurant owner? Because that's essentially what you're doing. Do not lease a truck if you've only been driving for 3 months. Absolutely not. You're basically a company driver paying all the bills. And so, absolutely not. Don't do that. Get your experience. Figure out the system first. And then when you think you figured it out, wait another year. I do also do truckload LTL. Saw eggs here in Michigan for no way, T-Bone. Absolutely not. Wow. There's a meteor coming. Yes. It's gonna kill the dinosaurs. Let's see. T-Bone, my daughter experienced $9.99 a dozen, so she bought some. Wow. If you have a connection on eggs, then we need to get some black market egg shipments moving. You come well, yeah. I don't know about that. Learn how to drive the truck first. You will make mistakes driving first. I took out a fence my first winter. Yeah, we all make mistakes. I guarantee I'm going to curb the hell out of this thing behind me when I go to drive again. And it's coming. I mean, I got to run some trailer stuff, some trailer errands here in a little bit in the next, probably next week. Not this week, but next week. Jonathan, you've got 30 to 40 chickens, so you're good. Dude, you are so good. You'll make some money too. Lease is a no. There is no immediate gratification. How do you curve a green screen? I can do it. I can do it. You never know. So let's look at the let me show you what I mean when it comes to what I'm seeing. All right, so let's see. Here's Van picking up. Let's do today and tomorrow. Today, tomorrow, apply. Let's share the screen here so you guys don't think I'm a dumbass more than normal. All right. I see what you did there. All right. This is Danville, Illinois to anywhere. 445 matches. This is for today and tomorrow within 150-mile radius. It's Illinois. Now, these are multiple postings. See, Champaign to Jacksonville. That's a good little bit more money on that. You'd be all right. A lot of stuff. Let's see. Clayton, Indiana to Blair, Nebraska. Here's Brownsburg, Indiana to Hayward, California, 4,600. That needs to be higher because you're going to take a hit out of Cali. Yeah, they're just not paying to go in or out of California right now. Here's Decatur, Illinois to Marianna, Florida. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Let's see. Anyways, so this would be a good spot to be if you're a van. Is Danville, Illinois. So because you can go anywhere you want. So let's look at Houston, Plainfield, Indiana to Houston. Um, let's see. There's 57 loads coming out of Houston going anywhere. There's only one though going to Indiana. So I guarantee if we click on this one, it's all going to go to the Pacific Northwest out of Houston or the Northeast or Canada. So a lot of short stuff. Like here, $1.97 to Detroit. You could probably get them up to $2 at least. And then Michigan's a great place. So it just depends on that broker if they're worth the darn or not. And I'm finding a lot that aren't. So you get them up to 2, you'd be all right. And then you just got to deal with the weather at that point. So there's just 100 ways you can do this. All right. Um, does anyone ever add up what you paid for your truck plus repairs plus how many months you've owned the truck based on that monthly amount determine when time to look for another newer used or newer truck? Most people don't do the math. Urban Podcast does. Hello from Eloy, Arizona. Hope you don't have to drive in that crap later. Danville ain't a good place to be if you're in the prison there. No, no, you're right. So let's do a new search. Let's do Springfield, Missouri. Let's do my hometown. Field, Springfield, no. 150-mile radius. Picking up today and tomorrow. Search. 134. So now here's a little test that I do. So let's do the same search, but let's take out tomorrow. See how much the number decreases. 117. So that means the majority of the loads are a day ahead. That's another thing you can do to gauge whether it's a last minute market or not. Springfield to Tallest in Arizona, 1,200 miles. Axle Logistics. Looks like it's pretty heavy, which you're going to need if you're coming out of Arizona, Shannon, because guess what? It's going to get windy on 40 there. But you're probably going down 20. I think I heard you're going like south, aren't you? So they're at 20. Well, the average is 28. And then, of course, it's an email. Just about every broker I've been dealing with today is email only. Some short stuff. Let's look at this. Springfield to Kinloch, Missouri. 514. That's low. It's the same broker. So what you can do is email this broker. You don't just ask about a specific load. Tell them, hey, what's on your list? What do you got? And then, hang out, buy them a coffee, and see what happens. Aurora to Brownwood, Texas. You're going to want to check the market. Van Reefer 43.5. Freeze Protect is another thing that you got to look at. Another email. Sunset Transportation. Look at that dive. It's gotten back to normal. There was something that made that spike. But look at Brownwood, Texas, anywhere 287 loads. There's 4 loads coming out of Brownwood going back to Missouri, and there's 17 going from Brownwood, Texas, back to Aurora. So that might be a good lane. Stratford to Houston. That might be. I bet you that's going to be auto parts. No, air conditioner. Okay, I was wrong. Let's see. I'm wrong a lot, by the way. Like, take this with a grain of salt. Here we go. Joplin, Monroe Township, New Jersey. More likely going to Costco, which ain't a bad delivery. Yep, that's going to be food. I bet you that's going to be juice. Juice or yeah, probably going to be juice. So it's awesome to know your markets, right? It's awesome to know your area. Here's another one: Harrisonville to Brownstown. Now Harrisonville's a little bit of a deadhead, so the rate probably won't justify that because I could probably get something closer. But Brownstown, Michigan ain't a bad spot. Again, we got to watch our freeze protect. 42, 495 on the weight. I bet you that's that might be soap stuff, like laundry detergent or whatever. That's what comes out of Harrisonville quite a bit. That's that heavy. So, but if you want to stay south, here we go. Here's Fulton to Hattiesburg. Is it light? Yep, that's going to be chips. That's going to be snack chips going to what's in Hattiesburg there? Is that Walmart? And then you want to check the market in Hattiesburg. Um, Hattiesburg to anywhere is 69. And here's one Hattiesburg to West Memphis. That's a good shorty. You can go southeast or northeast. Here we go. Lacombe to Janesville, Wisconsin. Grab that one. Paying 2-1 a mile. And Jamesville takes you in a good spot for a van. So I mean, there's 100 ways you can look at it, but just know the rates are going to be down, and so you want to stay in where you can always get a backhaul, or your broker can guarantee you a backhaul. Here's one I would not do: Fort Smith to Hobbs, New Mexico. Notice it's way over the average. Grocery products. Not only that, but the weather's going to suck in New Mexico for the next few days. Let's look at the backhauls, New Mexico. There's 13 from the entire state of New Mexico going anywhere, and then there's 9 coming out of Hobbs. So let's take a look at those. I bet you they're all going. Well, that's not bad. Carlsbad to Edmond, but look at the rate there: $1.52 a mile. And that load is posted 8 hours old. So I bet you it's not even there still. Now, if you're a broker, the 123 low board allows you to post for free. I don't know if you guys know that or not. I've mentioned it several times. Jeff has mentioned it several times. So that's just kind of how you have to look at it. So let's do load availability, density map. Let's do for all. No, for flatbed. I'm sorry. Let's do Let's do van first. Take flatbed out. Apply. There's what you're looking at. You take a look at these numbers. Not bad. Not bad. Illinois. I mean, it's the same stuff. I mean, it's the same thing. Florida, there's 389 outbound loads. Let's take a look at that. There's 615 going in, but let's take a look at what's coming out of Florida. $1.02 a mile. Going up to Pennsylvania. $1.81 going to Huron, Ohio. That's good. Let's take a look at that one. It's actually not a bad rate. Nylon polymers. So obviously this doesn't pick up till January 31st. I got this on any date, so that's part of that problem. 40 cents a mile for Jacksonville to Spartanburg. That's a LTL load. More brokers needing email. So let's do reefer here. And then we'll also look at Florida with the reefer. Let's see what that looks like. Still more loads coming out or going in than out. Stevens Transport, they're another one that doesn't answer their email. This is frozen. Picks up Tuesday, delivers Thursday on the 26th. That'd be a good spot. So picks up, delivers at 8 p.m. So now you're going to look for Friday morning in Columbus, Ohio. That's a good spot to be in. I would do this load if I got a good rate for it. I would try to get 2 for this, depending on that how frozen they need it. So temperature makes a big difference. You're going to burn more fuel if it's got to be -10 continuous. And of course, you can see the low volume here out of Columbus is good. Now, these skills you can apply to any low board. It's just on how you look at it. And of course, Idaho's been lit up. It also reflects that on the other low boards that I've seen too. So let's take a look at Boise here, or I mean Idaho in general. A lot of stuff going to California out of Idaho, Oregon. Here we go, Plymouth, Wisconsin. So this is Jerome, Idaho. Surge Transportation has this, and this doesn't pick up till Friday. I'm sorry, and delivers Monday. Is that right? January 30th. Yeah, Monday. And they're above the average, so that's rare for them. So this wouldn't be a bad load. So if you find yourself near Ohio or Idaho, then this might be a good one because Plymouth, Wisconsin's a good spot. I've got access to some really good freight up there, both man and reefer. Just getting there is kind of a challenge with the rate. Washington, Pennsylvania. Thing about this Pennsylvania is you're going to have tolls. It doesn't pick up till February 6th, though, so we'll just not even look at that. But notice it's all like this is all later in the week. There's nothing for today and tomorrow except going to California, which no one wants to go because reefer's taking a hit in California because of all the rain. Here's one for Saturday going to McDonough, Georgia, out of Twin Falls. California. Twin Falls to Delaware, Ohio. That doesn't pick up till Thursday. But you notice the trend. Everybody wants to be ahead on this stuff. And look, they're $800 below the average there. So, and then when you call like, we got until Thursday to cover this, so we're not doing it right. Or if they're a shady broker, they'll give it to somebody cheaper after they've booked it with you. So you really got to watch this. I mean, there's a lot of games going on with carriers and brokers right now. Here we go. Caldwell, Idaho to St. Louis, Missouri. This would be a good one. St. Louis is a good spot. Doesn't pick up till the 28th, though, so this is way down the road. Literally. So there's your reefer. Mr. Charles says math is hard. He is correct. Hit snow on I-10 this morning in Arizona. Not much, though. Missouri is my hometown as well. Okay. I'm heading to Houston through El Paso. Okay, good deal. It still might get hairy, though, on part of the area there, so be careful. You went through there with a mentor. Hit the thumbs up and just throw some hand warmers in for the freeze protect. Good afternoon from the part-time trucker. Are you part-time too, Gary? Are you joining the gang? Marty, does the 123 low board show bull haulers? Well, let's see here. Just for Marty, animal carrier. Does that count? Apply? There's your market for animal haulers. We're going to leave it on that just to freak everybody out. Nevada. What's up? That's a lot of money, $4,700 for just one load. All right, Christian number 1. Here's the deal. Out of that math, out of that $4,700, your carrier is going to take a cut. You're going to pay for fuel. You're going to pay for the truck payment. You're going to pay for any maintenance. If you blow a tire, you're going to pay for that. If you need a road service call, you're going to pay for that. You're going to also have to pay for your IRP plate. You're going to have to pay for your insurance. You're going to have to pay card swipe fees for just being able to buy fuel. So that $4,700 you might net, depending on your costs, you're not going to net as much as you think, especially as a lease operator. So, and that much money does you no good if you don't know how to manage your money. So here's what you need to be doing, Christian number 1. For the next 2 years, learn to drive the truck, learn the industry. Whenever you get fuel, pay attention to the price. Whenever you get maintenance or repair done for the truck, pay attention to what that might cost. If the shop won't tell you, Google it or call up another shop and say, how much would it cost to make this and this and this repair? And then keep track of your downtime. If your truck's down and you're sitting at a hotel for 2 days because your truck's broke down, keep track of that. Do the math and come up with a business plan and see if it's even worth doing for yourself. And then if you're horrible with money, then don't even try. Because you're going to just be moving more money, and if you don't know how to manage the money, it becomes a problem. So this is the time when you need to learn how to manage money. This is the time when you need to be doing the math homework if you truly want to become a lease operator. But that's why you need a couple of years on you. Now you're going to find that one guy that did get a lease truck, and after being a CDL holder for 3 months, and he might have been successful, but that is not the norm. And companies love to take advantage of people that think that you can do that. They love, love, love it because you don't know any better. You only know what you know. Twin Falls potato loads are good, but slow loading as usual. Remember when a certain broker did what a certain broker did to me last Thursday, accepted my rate, then got 2 emails lowering it by $200 each, would not let me have the original rate. There's a lot of those shenanigans going on now too. There's a lot of those shenanigans going on. And so you got to be really. This is why the broken relationships are important. You know, you drivers that sit there and say broken relationships don't mean anything because they'll screw you in the end. Well, you're making the wrong relationship with the wrong brokers. You know, anybody who watches DIY semi, you would have, last night he revealed that he had a load. His brokerage had a load for $4 a mile, long miles, and he couldn't get it moved. That's why he's in the truck because he can't find a good carrier, or they wanted way too much more. And he was already offering more than what the lane value was. And so it's important for brokers to have relationships with the good carriers just as much as it is the other way around. I can't stress that enough. You want to be successful in trucking, you got to have customer service skills. I don't care if you're in the spot. I don't care if you're at Swift. I don't care if you're at Landstar. I don't care if you're a company driver. If you want to be successful, you got to have customer service skills. No, I'm not actually technically part-time, but I ran my numbers from last year and I had 162 days off. Wow. That's like my numbers or my old numbers. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. A lot more. Christian number 1. I predict diesel pump price will never go under $4 again. I don't know, Marty. We said that earlier, and some of it actually did, but now it's going back up. Yeah, and also be aware those prices change as well. Christian, I just paid nearly $5,000 for a new clutch. Company driver, 0 expenses. $8,800 for new tires and shocks. There you go. And he was down for 2 weeks. 18 thumbs up. Get 30 more. We got 53 people in here. I appreciate that. TJ, I got your text. I was going to answer you after the live feed. Shop rate is like $200 an hour. A set of tires could cost $6,000 to $10,000. The expenses add up quickly. Yeah, I don't even want to look at the bill I'm going to have just for the small things I'm getting done. It's going to be stupid. And and my shop had 2 new service managers in there. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. So I kind of had to give them a little history of who I am and what I do there. My advice is bank money as a company driver for a few years. There's nothing wrong with being a company driver, guys, at all. Just depends on what you want in life, right? But with that being said, I had 162 days off, but I ran the most amount of loads for the highest rate per mile in the company. My philosophy has always been work smarter, not harder. There you go. Randall and Karen, brother, long time no see. All on me, my friend. Always as always. Anyways, as always, I appreciate your juice and triggering, my friend. Randy, I hope you're doing all right, man. Hope you're doing all right. No worries, I found them and I didn't know you were live when I texted my. No, man, no apologies necessary. Were you just wanting TJ, let me give you a TJ, type in Snorelord apnea predator into prey. I think that one's on the old channel. Look at that one. That's a lyric video that Tex Crowley made for me. That's you guys want to see apnea? Well, it's a lyric video, but there's some live videos on that OG channel as well. Company drivers make the money, owner ops have the freedom. Nah, Don, I'm going to disagree a little bit of that. Okay? I'm going to disagree with that. Don, here we go. The easier and better of a person you are to work with makes it easier to be successful in trucking in both company and owner op. Okay? The lower your expenses, whether you're company or owner op, the more freedom you'll have. So, in other words, as a company driver, I was really good with my dispatcher. My company liked how I was doing things. The customers enjoyed me as bringing their product or picking up their product. And therefore, I got the cream of the crop loads when there was a choice available as a company driver, because I wasn't an a-hole when I went everywhere. I didn't have this negative attitude. Now, if my costs at home are low and you live within your means, that means if you have a 2,000-mile week and you're paid mileage, ain't no big thing, right? Ain't no big deal, because at some point or another, that's going to happen to you as a company driver. You get more home time. You can afford more home time. So you find the company that allows that to happen. Find the company that's got the freight in your area. Now, as far as owner ops having freedom, I know a lot of owner operators that don't have any freedom because their costs are so high. If they had to take a month off because of a death in the family, or if they have to take a week off because the truck's down, now they got to run for 4 months straight to make up for it. That's not freedom. And if you're working with a company that you're dispatched, that's not freedom. Unless you can apply the skill set that I just mentioned for the company side. That's how you become successful. And that's what you need to learn, Christian, number one. That's what you need to learn. Company drivers do make the money, but owner ops take all the risk. That's what that should say. But Don's doing pretty good. I think he's found a good balance. I know as the costs are, and he seems to have a good stable thing going on at home. And he seems to be a pretty easygoing person, easy to deal with. So there you go. Doing good, Randy. I sent that one and 2 others from the OG channel. Good deal. Eventually, I'd like to have a cab over. I like to drive. Take it to the Joplin Truck Show. Taking the mats. That'd be kind of cool. Agreed. My company was very happy with me and gave me time off whenever I requested it. My overhead was very low. I still managed to save a truckload of money. Now, the other aspect to that hot seat is this. Whenever the company says jump, you ask how high. And if you're that kind of person, then the more likely they'll be in to give in to your demands when you need them. And that was kind of my deal when I was a company driver. I said, look, I will run as hard as you want me to, as long as you give me the days off that I request. And so and then that amounted to every other weekend. But usually if I had a gig, I would run for 3 weeks straight to make sure that you got me home for the gig. And I could request Wednesday to Monday off for a gig that was on Saturday. Because that's how I dispatch myself as an owner operator. That's how I would do it, to make sure that the gig was not screwed up. Thanks for your wisdom. I'll stay company for a while and save a lot of money while I'm still single without kids. There you go. Just because look, if you want to buy your first truck and you got 50 grand down and you can buy a truck for 80, your costs will be low, and then you'll be able to put more money in the bank as long as you make good decisions. But you're going to need 2 or 3 years of experience to figure that out. And it might be, dude, 2 years from now, you might be like, yeah, screw this. The average new CDL holder lasts about 1.5 years, 2 years, if that. And that's why you see such crappy drivers out there with bad training, because no one wants to hang out. No one wants to stick around. I don't have any freedom right now, but that was because of my own doing. Also, owner operator with company assigned loads versus self dispatch. This makes a huge difference on how much you make and grow your business, sales, communication skills. True, Snorelord. Get the Nicola cab over. Saw one pulling a Walmart trailer this week. If you were to buy a new trailer or a new truck, what would you buy? If I wasn't paying for it, I would buy a um I'd get well, I'd probably get a Kenworth T680 with the Cummins. Um and then I would get trailer wise, if I was going to get a van, it'd probably be a Wabash or probably a Wabash. But I would try to get possibly a logistics trailer with belly boxes. That's kind of how I would look at that. If I was to get a reefer, I'd call my friend DIY Semi and ask him which reefer should I get because he would know. Great Dane's not bad. Christian Trucker, he once did a comparison on the different trailers when he was at Schneider. I think he was comparing Wabash, Hyundai, utility, Great Dane. I don't know if we had utility trailers at Schneider. I'm trying to remember. And Vanguard. I know at Landstar I pulled Vanguard trailers, which were nice, but they tended to have more wiring issues, electrical issues. Right now I own a Strick, so I've only had one issue with the wiring on that one. Other than that, it's been a pretty solid trailer. I mean, it's been very solid, but it's not a plate trailer. So like empty cans, empty bottles, I can't do. So, anyways, let's remove this animal carrier so everybody doesn't freak out. Um, let's look at power only, just for Big Rig CEO. Um, yeah, it's kind of a checkerboard, isn't it? So the problem is what's the van market once you get a loadout trailer in Arkansas? What's that look like? So again, I mean, I would be in Wisconsin, Indiana, Arkansas. Then you'd have to. I mean, you have to really plan ahead for that stuff. Which James has those skills. And then for some reason, there's a batch of trailers, and let's take a look at Rhode Island here. It's all one broker, one way trailers. We've gone over that before. These are all loadouts. Um, Here we go. Lincoln, Rhode Island to South Holland, Illinois. Loadout. We need this trailer delivered. Use it to load your freight. There you go. Strick still makes trailers. Yes, Dennis. Um, they're primarily in the it's a Michigan dealer that I got them from. I don't know where all the dealers are, but I never even heard of Strick until Jeffrey Light was, hey, try this dealership. They've got a good deal on trailers. And actually, we have a few in the fleet because Jeff bought a few and renting them out. So, I think I'm going to call it, guys. Let me do this real quick. Where's well, I'm going to try something here. You iPhone people have been wondering about memberships. So if you want to have a membership to the channel, You got an iPhone. Here's you a link, and that should take you right to the join on your phone. I don't know, maybe an iPhone person, check that out. There's a 2023 Great Dane Reefer for sale. Only, jeez, 137,000. Yeah, yeah, no. For a reefer trailer, what's the best two states to get back to Wisconsin? Um, Texas is not doing too bad right now, believe it or not. And then I don't know. Let's um, Missouri. I would look at Texas, Missouri, and probably the Northeast. But then you're going to take a rate hit out of both Texas and the Northeast. So it just depends. Oh, cool! It works. Thank you. And look, I've got a high dollar membership that's personal access to me. Don't do that one. That one's dumb. But the others, I appreciate it. Trying to see who just texted me. My local. Okay. Alrighty. So it looks like I've got to get off here. So guys, thanks for watching. Like trucking, we're looking for contractors. We have trailers available. Um, and then if you're interested in checking out the 123 low board, there's my code. It gives you 30 days for free. And you can do your own math. You can look at the loads, and if you look at the posted rates, see what you can make. So, um, and I appreciate everybody coming in. www.liketrucking.com if you're interested in coming over here as a contractor. We have empty trailers. There's one here in Missouri, and there's one in Michigan. And then you can also probably roll with the power only game if you wanted to. If we don't have a trailer right then and there available. So, anyways, um, guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. Thank you very much. Sorry I didn't go live early this morning, but I had stuff to do. My carrier and my work and my customers come first. So I had to deal with that. Plus, there wasn't really much to report this morning. So maybe Mondays will be more of a noon thing. So, all right. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. And um, here's here's some music. Here's some lovely music to exit with. Peace.